Magandang buhay! I am Regine Pilea May F. Del Carmen from MaEdSped Area 3, and I will be reporting about formulation of qualitative research questions. To start, we will be having a prayer, then after that we will be singing the national anthem, and then an icebreaker.
Sa ngalan samahan ug sa anak ug sa Espiritu Santo. Amen. Among langit nun ug makagahom nga amahan, nagasimba ug nagadayeg kami kanimo. Salamat niining lain na usab nga kahigayunan sa pagsinati sa kasilak sa imong gugma ug kaluoy. Amahan, pasaylua kami sa among padayong pagpakiyas sa imong mga balaang sugo. Bisan pa sa among pagkadili angayan sa pagsangpit sa imong ngalan, ania kami mapaubsanon nga biduol kanimo, tungod kay ikaw lamang ang makahatag sa among panginahanglan. Amahan, tabangi kami nga magasunod sa mga ehemplo sa imong langitnong anak. Ablihi ang among tibuok mo kaugalingon, alang nining maong kalihukan, aron motuhop kanamo ang imong grasya sa kaalam ug kalamdagan, nga maghatud kanamo sa paghingpit sa among mga responsibilidad, isip mga tinugyanan sa katilingban, ug maghatud usab kanamo sa tinuray nga paghigugma sa imong balaan nga ngalan. Sa among pagpadayon sa pagsinati sa mga adlaw sa among pagkinabuhi ug pagserbisyo, hinaot nga anaa ka sa kanunay, magauban hangtod sa takna sa kahingpitan sa tanan, tungod ug alang sa imong balaan nga ngalan. Kining tanan among gipangayo ug gipasalamatan, pinagi ni Kristo among Ginoo. Amen. Sa ngalan samahan ug sa anak ug sa Espiritu Santo. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, telas ng sinangalan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa mandulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagatang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong pagaw, ay hinatang tula, kawin sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nag-iindig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magtitingin. Luman ang araw ng walhagit pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang inigaya na pagkay mga amin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
The Seated Cha-Cha Wiggle Concert. Okay, Koala Boppers, it's Cha-Cha Wiggle Concert time. Just follow what we do and I'll call out the moves. Everybody ready? And bounce, bounce, wiggle, 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 and bounce, bounce, wiggle, 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 bounce, bounce, wiggle, 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 and bounce, bounce, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Beat the drum, cha-cha-cha. Beat the drum, cha-cha-cha. Beat the drum, cha-cha-cha. Beat the drum, cha-cha-cha. Big arms this way, big arms that way. 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 And roll, 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 roll. Let's take it from the beginning now. Bounce, bounce, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Bounce, bounce, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. bounce, bounce, wiggle, 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 and bounce, bounce, cha, cha, wiggle, and beat the drum, cha, 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 beat the drum, cha, 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 beat the drum, cha, 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 beat the drum, cha, cha, cha. Big arms this way, big arms that way, 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 and roll, 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 roll. Let's take it one more time from the beginning. Ready? And bounce, bounce, wiggle, 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 and bounce, bounce, wiggle, 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 bounce, bounce, wiggle, 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 and bounce, bounce, cha, cha, wiggle, and beat the drum, cha, 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 beat the drum, cha, 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 beat the drum, cha, 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 beat the drum, cha, cha, cha. Big arms this way, big arms that way, big arms this way, big arms that way. Great dancing, koala boppers. Okay, koala boppers, it's challenge time. This time, I won't call out the moves, so it's up to you to remember what to do. Good luck and have fun. Everybody ready? Let's take it from the beginning now. Let's take it one more time from the beginning. Ready? And great dancing, koala boppers.
Go to my report. Now, my report is about the formulation of qualitative research. Okay, so I think that we have already warmed up our veins, our sleepy veins. Now let's wake up with something a bit technical. Okay, so let's start. This is the breakdown of my report, our report with Mom Steph. Okay, so for my report, I have what are qualitative research questions, followed by how to write qualitative research questions, and then we have also the types of qualitative research questions. For Mom Steph's report, here are the questions. How to choose qualitative research questions? What should be the process of forming qualitative research questions and questionnaires? And also, at the last, we have the conclusion and key takeaways. Okay, let's start. Let's define what are qualitative research questions. Okay, Qualitative research questions are the inquiries that lead to qualitative research studies and investigations. All the things that will happen inside your research are anchored to these research questions. Okay? And then they are meant to help people explore and understand phenomena, experiences, meanings, and views from participants' point of view. Okay, for qualitative, the term for the participants is the respondents, but in quali we have participants. Okay, so we will try to explore and understand the phenomena, experiences, and meanings and point of views of our participants. Okay. Qualitative research questions are like a compass. So as you can see in the picture, um, it is pointing you in two directions, no? Okay, researchers in the right direction to find which questions untangle complicated social relationships and a clear picture of how people act in subtle ways. Unlike their quantitative counterparts, okay, this is to compare to the quantitative, these questions go beyond numbers and figures to explore the subjective, contextual, and complex parts of human experience. Most qualitative research questions are open-ended and allow for in-depth study. So you can ask a participant, example our learners, um, naging masaya ka ba nung blank? Okay, so they will put on their answers based on what they feel. Okay, and also how did they experience those things. Okay, they want more than simple yes or no answers, but instead want people to talk about their thoughts, feelings, views, and experiences. These questions try to find deeper meanings, patterns, and connections in a given situation. Okay. Here are examples of qualitative study questions in different fields. So we have in psychology, how do individuals experience and cope with traumatic events? Okay, example of traumatic events may be um, both parents have have trouble with each other, fighting each other, and the child is left in there observing them, and there's a traumatic event in there. And then in healthcare, what are the experiences and perspectives of patients undergoing long-term treatment for a chronic illness? For example, cancer patients. What are their experiences and also their perspectives? Of course, in education, dito na tayo. What are the challenges faced by teachers in implementing project-based learning in school? So there are lots of questions we have inside our classrooms. Some of them already addressed through action research. Okay, we have qualitative research. So qualitative research questions should be straightforward, specific, and tailored to the research goals. So first of all, you should know the direction or the goal of your research so that all research questions are anchored in there. Okay? They guide the process of gathering data through interviews, focus group discussions or FGDs, observations or document analysis, no, the content analysis, and give a method for analyzing and interpreting data. Okay, now let's go to how to write qualitative research questions. Writing the right qualitative research questions requires careful thought about the research goals, the event being studied, and the wanted level of understanding. Here are some tips to help you write good qualitative research questions. So begin with a broad research question. Then you need to specify the research objectives. Then you focus on a phenomenon. Oh, what phenomenon? Post-pandemic, pwede yon. Latest, after the pandemic, what happened? Okay? Then use open-ended and exploratory language. So as I told you before, um, Okay, we have example here of general open-ended questions. Yung dugtungan mo na lang, okay? What happened if blank? I wonder blank. What do you think about blank? Okay, so those are examples of general open-ended questions. Okay? Consider the context and participants. Incorporate the theory and literature. Of course, we need also to evaluate and also to check on related literatures that have already published. Okay? Then we must also check the appropriateness of these literatures at the time being. So, dapat fresh ang ating mga research as mga 5 years before. Okay, balance breadth and depth. Avoid leading and biased questions. Okay. Then pilot test questions. You can also try, um, try your test your research questions. No, if you are not satisfied with the trial and error, then you can revise and refine it. Okay, so now we have the types of qualitative research questions. We have descriptive questions, exploratory, experiential, comparative, process-oriented questions, and also theoretical questions. So let's see each. Okay, so this descriptive questions. These questions aim to describe and understand a phenomenon or topic in detail. They focus on providing a comprehensive account of the subject. So for example, what are the experiences of individuals living with chronic pain? Okay, we'll get to know the experiences of individuals having such illnesses. Then, how do employees perceive the organizational culture in a specific company? Okay, for the second one, exploratory questions. These questions are used to explore new or under research areas. They seek to gain a deeper understanding of a topic or phenomenon. So, for example, what are the factors influencing consumers' decision-making process when purchasing organic food? And how do teachers perceive the implementation of project-based learning in the classroom? Okay, we need to more on exploration ito siya. Okay, and then number three, experiential questions. These questions focus on understanding individuals' experiences, perspectives, and subjective meanings related to a particular phenomenon. They aim to capture personal experiences and emotions. For example, what are the challenges of first generation college students face during their transition to higher education? Another example is that how do how do individuals with social anxiety disorder experience social interactions? Okay. The fourth one, comparative questions. These questions involve comparing and contrasting different groups, contexts, and perspectives to identify similarities, differences, or patterns. They explore variations in experiences or phenomena. So, for example, how do parenting practices differ between cultures A and B in terms of child discipline? Okay, what are the similarities and differences in their coping strategies used by individuals and depression questionnaire with anxiety disorders? Okay, process-oriented questions. These questions focus on understanding a phenomenon's processes, mechanisms, or dynamics. They aim to uncover how and why certain outcomes or behaviors occur. So, for example, what are the processes by which teams in a workplace reach a consensus of decision making? How does the negotiation process unfold during conflict resolutions in interpersonal relationships? Okay, the sixth one, Theoretical questions. These questions seek to generate or refine theory. They explore concepts, relationships, or theoretical frameworks to contribute to the existing body of language of knowledge. For example, how does the concept of self-efficacy manifest in the context of entrepreneurship? What underlying mechanisms explain the relationship between social support and mental health outcomes? Number 7, ethnographic research questions. Clarifies people's nature, activities, their interactions, and the outcomes of their actions in specific settings. For example, what are the demographic characteristics, rehabilitative treatments, community interactions, and disease outcomes, nature, activities, their interactions, and the outcomes of people in China who is suffering from pneumoconiosis? Number 8, phenomenological research knows more about the phenomena that have impacted an individual. What are the lived experiences of parents who have been living with and caring for children with a diagnosis of autism? So that's a phenomena and that have impacted an individual. Okay, so that would be all for my report. Let's welcome the next reporter, Miss Steph Lumayas. And as you can see on my screen right now, here are my references. Okay, thank you everyone.